Hello and welcome to Retro Bikes Dublin. Today we're on a Honda FTR 223. This one's in silver and I believe it's a 2008 bike. Really nice condition, only 8,900 kilometers on her. This I think is the best starter bike you can get in Ireland at the moment. As the reasons for that are, which I'll explain when we're on the bike itself. But it's 20 horsepower, it's A2 license compliant, so anyone under the age of 18 or over the age of 18 can get on her once you do your IBT. She's super easy to work on. She's everything going for really. It's a Honda known brand and so on. But we'll get on her now and we'll start her up and we'll show you how easy it is to start. Once you have the fuel on, you hardly even press the start button and you're off. So we'll just do our usual kind of 8 to 9 minute video here as we go around. So number one, why this is one of the best starter bikes you can buy is it's light and easy to control. The wide handlebars make it really simple to maneuver at slow speeds and gaining your confidence as you're going up, rather than something that's kind of difficult to move around. The bike itself I think is only around 150 kilos, if even. Controls, clutch is really light and easy. Bike isn't it's not snatchy on the throttle. It's very forgiving. It's a 5-speed gearbox, brilliant for in and out of town, which is all you'll be allowed to do. You're not really allowed on the motorway as a beginner driver or a learner driver in Ireland. He's well capable of getting up to speed though. And the next thing as well is the amazing 223cc engine on her, and so well, I wouldn't say smooth, but really responsive, easy to work on. Single cylinder, so only one spark plug. Oil and oil change on her is so easy to do, only takes about a litre of oil. She doesn't burn any oil either, this engine. Just keep ticking over. Controls as well at the front are super easy. You have your indicators, your engine stop, electric start and horn and lights, and that's it. The dash itself is super simple, no rev gauge, but you have your odometer here with your speed in kilometers. Indicators, lights show you if your indicators are on. Full beam, show you full beams on, as well as your neutral light, and that's it. That's all you have to worry about. You don't really want to be seeing anything else as a beginner. A nice upright sitting position as well, so you're not uncomfortable sitting on the bike. You're not hunched over like you would be on a sports bike. And more, hopefully we might be able to do a bit of filtering here just to show you the capability. The next thing as well then though is the front brake. The front brake is very confidence inspiring because it's really gradual in when you pull it. You can pull it very lightly and it'll come in lightly, and then if you want to pull it hard it'll come in. Fucking hell, you bleeding Jesus. There you go. That's why you want good brakes. So Yaris drivers like your one here, don't cut you off. Anyway, but yeah, the brakes, very confidence inspiring. We'll turn in at our usual spot here to show you the capabilities of the front and rear. It's a front disc, single disc, but because the bike is so light, it's really good. And we seem to have Mrs. Yaris driver following us here now. And then I'm going to do an immediate right here. Okay, we get up to speed, 50 kilometers an hour, front brake. Whoa! Here we go. And we do a rear brake test here now as well. Won't be as good as usual. but not too bad. Oopsies, I've stalled her. Let me just get her into neutral. There we go. Too much heavy braking for her. But like I said, the super easy to start and get going. We do get a lot of people when they buy a bike from us, they're beginner riders because we're kind of specialised at the 400cc and down, and they make the usual mistakes they make are not turning on the fuel. The second thing is, Jesus mister, just take it easy. Second thing is leaving the ignition on and making the battery go flat. And then the third thing is the combination of the two. Not turning the fuel on and then just turning over constantly on the starter motor, the starter button, until the battery goes flat. So as long as you can keep those two things on this one, you don't even need to turn the fuel off if you're not going away for a long time. If you plan to use it anytime soon in the next few weeks, you can leave the fuel on. There's no real negative to leaving the fuel on. And these ones, they don't really seem to leak. Leave the fuel on, turn the ignition on, and then press the starter button, and you won't go wrong. We haven't had one back. We did have one back, not for any bad reasons, but because she had bought the bike, then she decided to do a trip immediately to Killarney, and Killiney, and she didn't check for petrol. So the bike ran out of petrol. She rang us and she said, here, the bike is broken down, there's something wrong with it. And we said, have you turned it on to reserve? What's reserve? So that's the main thing, is making sure the petrol is on, and that's why these ones are so simple. Just turn on the petrol, turn the key and press start. That's it as a starter. As well as servicing, then there's a few guides online on how to service them, super easy. Just about over a litre of oil, and the oil filter itself you can replace when you're doing that. Apart from that, if you keep her topped up with oil, she'll keep going forever. They're super reliable. They're our most reliable bike, I'd say, that we have, apart from the Honda Zoomers, which are just never ending. Oh, the C90s, C50s, that kind of stuff, all Honda stuff. But yeah, no, as long as you keep her well serviced, you know, servicing her over 4,000 kilometers, she'll just keep going forever and ever and ever and ever. Motors on them, or the engines on them, are just brilliant. Super simple, and when they're simple, nothing really goes wrong in them. So yeah, we can't, we've had 40, 50 of these FTRs maybe, and there's not one thing that we can say, oh yeah, this thing goes wrong on them, you know, be careful, you know, you need to replace that. There's not one thing that I can think of that goes wrong with them, as long as you keep them up with oil. So they're pretty much the reasons why I think this is the best bikes. As you see, they're super easy to maneuver. Clutch and controls are so easy. Engine is super easy to work on, and it's a great first bike for anyone out there looking to get started, or just in general, to be honest. These are great little city bikes, cheap to run, petrol on them costs nothing. We have a few experienced riders come in and bought these FTRs just because they're unique and super great for town, in and out. Here's Arthur, our valeter, works wonders on these bikes. But yeah, if you have liked the video, please do leave a like. Also comment down below what you think of a Honda FTR 223, and finally subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already.